Rocket League, a game about hitting balls. Wait, let me rephrase that. Rocket League is a game about car soccer. The game's concept is straightforward. Score more than your opponent, you win. If you lose, well, just uninstall at this point because that is only just the beginning. Either way, we can all agree that Rocket League is very hard. However, you're in luck because I analyzed 3 Plat replays from Plat 1 to Plat 3 in 2v2 and found 3 common mistakes in those ranks. These mistakes include hesitation/awareness, giving away possession, and finally, overcommitting. Starting with the first mistake, hesitation, this seems like a very obvious issue found in the low ranks. Since the pace of play is slow, one can assume players are hesitating often and just scared to challenge. A key factor to this is just simply the fact that their confidence is low. This has to do with their confidence in their mechanics mostly, because a lack of mechanical confidence leads to hesitating on an obvious play attempt. To simplify what I just said, they're very unimpactful in their games. Our first example here shows just how important being aware of your positioning is. If he realized sooner that the opponent already had possession, then he wouldn't have hesitated to shadow defend quicker. Hesitation is usually a direct result of being unaware of your surroundings and the threat of play. On this play, the player had a small window to jump but decided to turn around in a circle, causing another mistake. He then challenges when it's already too late. It just goes to show that if he hadn't hesitated, he would have at least added more pressure to the other team, even if he missed a shot anyways. In this clip, the player decides to leave the ball and just isn't aware of keeping pressure. This ultimately slows down the gameplay and gives the opposing team time to recover. A way to fix this is to just simply learn the ball's path and getting more consistent with your mechanics. If you can read the ball in the air, then you can easily read it on the ground. Start off in training to start learning, then move to casual to practice in-game scenarios. After feeling confident from those 2 steps, then you're ready to try it in ranked. There's nothing worse than making a free mistake when you can just avoid doing that mechanic altogether. Taking your time and really focusing on your positioning before the play will make hitting the ball easier for yourself, rather than doing a crazy maneuver to fix yourself on the ground or the air. The next mistake, giving away possession, is like the number 1 offensive mistake. If you give your opponents the ball, you increase your chances of getting scored on. It's really just that simple. Rather, you should aim to hold on to it as long as possible, getting close to their net or taking a low 50 in most cases. Obviously, there are times to score immediately given a ball like scoring a boomer across the field, but that's not what I'll be talking about in this video. Another reason as to why this is bad is because you eliminate any possible way of making an important play, whether it's a pass or a shot. You can't score if your team doesn't have the ball, right? And no, I'm not talking about own goals here. That's just an lucky outlier. Literally right off the kickoff, he decides to throw the ball away, putting his teammate in a 2v1 scenario. He clearly had enough space to make a slower approach and take a 50. If you also noticed, he did not look to where the opponent was, which was probably why he gave it up in the first place. If you know where your opponent is, you won't panic. The last example shows the previous play but the receiving side. Sure enough, he also throws away rather than using the open space to dribble the ball closer to the net. If he'd done this, maybe his teammate would have gotten the hint and went for a demo or bump on that 2v1 play. In this clip, he goes to the corner to receive the ball, but doesn't jump before the ball to keep it low. Instead, it flies away, allowing the opponent to have it. Luckily, his teammate was able to get away from the 2v1 play. This last example shows the same player giving the ball away again, making an unnecessary touch away from his teammate, and then puts himself in an awkward spot. He then overcommits rather than going to net instead of the corner. To fix this, practice dribbling the ball on top of your car or better, in front of your car. The reason I say the latter is better is because it eliminates the risk of getting dunked on by wild ball chasers in the low ranks. You should also be aware of the available space given to you, especially from overcommit plays. You'll be closer to their net and gone for an easy shot. For now, focus on being close to the ball consistently. Finally, without a doubt, overcommitting is such an easier mistake to make without being aware of. Without realizing it, you're putting your teammate in a 2v1 position. Trust me, there's nothing more frustrating than being stuck as last man and you see your teammate all the way on the other side of the field looking stupid. and then only to be hit with the "what a save" quick chat. I mean, this isn't fair, right? Well, you're right. If you put your teammate in a 2v1, in most cases, there's something you could have done earlier to prevent this. This might include shadow defending, drive challenging rather than flipping into a challenge, or even just rotating away when you know your challenge won't be beneficial. It's better to get behind your teammate and let him challenge, rather than making a bad play. In this clip, we can see that this player drove all the way to the enemy corner without considering his teammate just made a play and isn't ready to help. Now that he makes a double commit and whiffs, he puts his teammate in a 2v1 position, which is never good in any rank. Rather than diving, he should have rotated back to middle of the field and bought time for his teammate. The last clip, he decides to bump his teammate with possession, then goes for the boost, and finally overstays his welcome and gets beat to the ball. After seeing how far away he was, it would have been better to turn around sooner and shadow defend instead. Because of this, he gets scored on. As a side note, I was going through the replays and saw one of the Plat players using no ball cam for literally the whole game. I had no idea why he got so far as Plat and was pushing Diamond. It's mind-blowing. Let's just appreciate this gameplay real quick. Don't be this guy, fellas. And there you have it. These are common mistakes I've found analyzing Plat 2v2 gameplay. The next video I will talk about common mistakes in Diamond, so be sure to not miss it by subscribing and hitting the notification button. I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers, so I would greatly appreciate your generosity and support. In turn, it will make me motivated to make content like this again. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. See ya.